questions, if you don't mind, Doctor. First, I'm trying to
Okay,
find
sure.
out, how we can, how if you got rid of the changing it twice a year and just either had it all daylight or all standard time, that would alleviate some of the health impacts. And then more about how we should be thinking about kids in the context of that. I'm an advocate for getting rid of the changing it. I haven't decided yet whether I want daylight or standard, but I don't think we should go back and forth.
Right. So starting with that issue, the going back and forth really briefly, and then I'll get to the other one. Where should we go with that? I think that there is clear evidence that going back and forth not only affects adults with the heart attacks and strokes, but also affects our kids, particularly with teen sleep deprivation. Teens are really susceptible because as we go through puberty, our natural melatonin levels are pushed later, and we just have a really hard time going to sleep, particularly as teens. And then you throw in everything else that's going on with teens and in terms of school and all, and it really could create a lot of sleep deprivation, the school start times that were mentioned that are oftentimes very early. So I do think there is a big argument for child health, teen health, by getting rid of this transition back and forth. Now, the reason I think permanent standard time is the healthy choice is because we need light in the morning to become alert, to get ourselves going. The kids need to be alert to go to school, to learn. They're also oftentimes on the road driving in the dark. And there have been multiple studies that have shown that motor vehicle crashes are more common when kids are driving to school in really early morning hours, like the 7 o'clock hour versus the 8 o'clock hour. So that's one area where kids are really affected, and the permanent standard time would make a huge difference. And then we also see the impacts of sleep loss in these kids on depression, ADHD, self-harm, obesity, which is a huge issue right now in our kids. So there's a lot of health aspects where getting more sleep, which would happen when you get that bright light in the morning to wake you up, get you going, makes it easier to go to sleep at night. And having less of that late evening light, which can really mess up our sleep patterns. All of that, the early morning light, less light in the evening would be promoted by having permanent standard time adopted.